Hey everyone, Pupsker here. Today in Warframe, we're gonna go over all beginner guide, advice, tips, and tricks, and go over the starting areas in Warframe. I want to go over and explain all of the starting systems essentially in your orbiter, as well as just go over some of the starting areas and advice I have around Warframe in general. This is probably going to be a somewhat long video, so if you like it, remember to like and comment down below if there are any questions you have so anyone can answer you, as Warframe is a very confusing game, very big game, and a very long game, as it's had about 9 years of active open development now. So there is that. And as always, subscribe, use Epic Game Store creator code Pupsker if you want to support the channel, you know, usual YouTuber stuff. So Warframe is a big game. Like I said, it's been going on for 9 years, which means there's a lot to explain. This is your orbiter. That's your general mission hub and where you go to do your general Warframe stuff. Back there, you'll unlock eventually. Over there, you'll unlock eventually. And over here is your general seating area in Warframe for you to just decorate and throw things down. Nothing hugely important there, but there, you know, is certain interesting stuff you'll eventually unlock. So that all comes later in the game. Early on in the game, this is more so the area you're going to be focused on, and there's a lot of things to explain around the game. For example, you're building warframes and weapons in the Foundry. You want to buy blueprints in the market, and you can get everything in Warframe for free. It may take a lot of time, but you can complete the game 100% free to play. It has obviously drop RNG, which is a pain, but it doesn't have heavy like spending gotcha mechanics. You can get by pretty easily. In the first years of playing Warframe, I only spent around $200 for the first probably like 5 years casually, and that was just for like fun skins and cosmetics. I didn't actually end up buying anything to progress in the game. And then I started buying more skins and cosmetics because I've been like, hey, I've been playing the game for ages. So it's actually a pretty nice free-to-play system, but the grind can obviously be heavy in that regard. So, you know, normal, but very nice. So this is your arsenal. This is where you will equip your warframes, weapons, and check them all out. Starting out in Warframe, there's not a ton of variety because you slowly have to unlock and build up weapons, warframes, and side systems. But eventually, there are warframes, weapons, secondary weapons, melee. You have a focus tree, which is like buffs and whatnot. There's a Parazon to fight certain enemies. This is like an assassination tool, and it's how you assassinate enemies. These are a little later in the game, so I'm not going to really go over them too much, but that's fine. You have little companion sentinels, you know, dogs, robots, cats, etc. They have weapons as well. There's gear wheels for you to throw on certain things like mechs, scanning things. You can call people in. There's flight and different weapons like the arc gun deployer. There's a lot of open world things to do, and there are a certain amount of like 3 open world, 4 open world kind of right now in the game. But, you know, it depends on what you're looking at. And there's Arcwing, Arc Gun. This is like in space flight, right? Guns, weapons, melee. There is Heavy Guns, which is the Arc Guns, but like you using it as a warframe. You have little skateboards, which are hit or miss. It's more for the memes and fun of it. And then there's a mech as well. Tons of warframes have abilities, and differing abilities, I should say. They all have 4 abilities and a passive, so pretty unique. Same with Arc Wings, which are the space combat things, right? Not too bad there. There's a lot of menus, as you can see, different layouts you can always use. I generally don't use these because I don't care, but these are really good to use if you love keeping certain specific setups for very specific tasks, but I'm a little too lazy to get things set up, so there is that. When you're early on into the game, you'll be locked by your mastery rank, which is your account level. You can always go up here, show your profile, and it'll show you your account level there. You can check out what you can level up in order to get mastery rank and level up your account. Things like that. Not too bad, not too bad. Warframe at the moment isn't fully cross-play or cross-save, but it's currently in development as well as a mobile client. So hopefully by the end of 2023 or beginning of 2023, we have more cross-play, cross-save, and possibly mobile stuff. But that's a little bit there for now. As you can see in your profile as well, I have and am in a clan, the Corgi cult, you know, the Pupsker clan, if you will. Thank you all for joining. So I would definitely recommend you get into a clan so that you can get a ton of items in the game. Because early game, the clan also has an area where you can buy blueprints and weapons and warframes, etc. But we'll go over more of that later. So that's general warframes, weapons here. Here you can customize their appearance a ton, has a lot of customizations, skins, etc, etc. So that's fun if you like fashion framing. And here's where you will upgrade things. So this is the general modding system here. Eventually you'll unlock more things like arcanes, and you'll have to unlock an item to unlock the arcanes. But these are mods. Quite simply put, they buff your warframes and their abilities and survivability, right? This is your warframe building section. This is how you play Warframe. You throw on mods, build them up, and your warframe does more damage, survives better, etc, etc. They have, as you can see in the top right, these different polarities, as they are called, polarities. As you can see in the mod section here, this has a slash polarity, so that means I should put something with a slash mod on it, and it is cheaper. Your capacity is up here, it's maxed out when you're rank 30, different configurations, editing stuff here, normal there. You can throw on a Forma, which changes the polarity of a mod slot, making it so that I could say, like, put a Fang polarity here, making this one cost half as much as it does now. That is to make it easier for you to mod and change around your warframes. You can upgrade your mods. They start at level 0. You farm Endo in order to upgrade mods. The in-game currencies, there's a ton of them, but some are like credits, that's your money. Platinum, that's your premium currency. And then like Endos to upgrade mods. Ton of ways to get Endo, farming, playing the game, just running missions, extracting Iotins out of the mod section there, and going to Maru on Mars, Maru's Bazaar on Mars, and talking to Maru. Maru. Anyways, those are mods. That's how modding works, and that's how like the general polarization works. You do want to use things called Orokin reactors or Orokin catalysts for weapons, because they double your mod capacity to give it like this true capacity. Auto install for mods kind of sucks. You can use it if you're in a pinch, but I'd recommend manually just changing mods around quickly for what you like and what you have. You can swap around the polarities here. So as you can see, this is a slash one. I could swap that and put the slash there, right? So you can swap and move around the polarities so that you can swap and move around mod configurations and like lineups, because some things actually conflict and mod placement does matter. That's the generals around modding. Lenses are what you get for focus, which is the different leveling system. You'll eventually unlock it later, but it's another side system to make you stronger. The game is mainly PvE, but it does have PvP down here. It's called Conclave. And this is how you set up your Conclave build and Warframe's weapons mod setup there. There's so much more to Warframe, and it takes a billion years. And then over here is where you can fight in Conclave and do PvP. Most people dislike it though, so that is what it is. Right here is where you can say hi to your dogs, cats, create and breed some Kubro's Kavots. Eventually you'll need to do a quest to get this, but it's just good to know early on. It's very simple, but you know, it's a little section of your orbiter right there. Here is the Void Relic segment. This is where you can get primed weapons and warframes, essentially, and manage your primed weapon and warframe loot. By loot, I mean you get Void Relics, and then you farm and run Void Relic missions, Void Fissures, in order to open these up, and then you get like an RNG drop of a prime item, and then, well, prime item, prime blueprint, and then you build it in your Foundry. You'll do a little quest to unlock this. That'll give you a little tutorial as well, so hopefully that helps, but that's just a little TLDR. And it also has Requiem relics, which are used for Kuva Liches and Sisters of Parvos, which you'll maybe do later on in the game. So that's a little thing there. Pretty good, pretty good. But this is definitely important. You'll run a lot of Void Fishers, run a lot of Void Relics. This is where your other, like, robotic companions go, so that's nice. This is your, like, mod section. It kind of popped up earlier when I was in my Warframe screen. This is where you can, like, search, manage, and upgrade your mods inherently. These are Riven mods. They're kind of like an RNG gotcha type mechanic to get different stats, so you can just run those. And yeah, this is the general mod screen. Search for stuff, look around. It's pretty simple. This is your Iton treasures, though. This is what you take to Maru on Mars. You go to Maru's Bazaar, right? It says visit Maru right there. Could take you there. You give her these, and and you also socket them with Iton and Cyan Stars, but you can just auto socket these all instantly. Take these to Maru, get a lot of endo right now. This is like tens of thousands of endo, or like 20,000 maybe. Yeah, not a ton, but still a lot, right? So that's the little mod section there. You can dissolve mods. You can transmute mods if you have a ton of them. This is okay early on, but might be a little bit of a waste of time later on. Just transmute if you have a lot of rare mods, and you might get another rare mod you don't have. But again, it's better early on when you're missing a lot of random mods, because it's just RNGing mods into the gotcha system of maybe getting one. Costs some credits, but that's about it. You can quite simply just like go down here to something with duplicates, right? I hit 4, and then I transmute that. It costs a lot of credits though if you're early. So yeah. You can fuse mods together to upgrade them, like enhance a mod by fusing endo. Sorry, fuse endo into the mods. You can sell mods for endo if you have a lot of duplicates as well. Middle mouse button to click all of them if there are duplicates, stuff like that. But it would take me a while to get to some duplicates, right? So there is that. There's a lot of mechanics around there. Now, this is the Foundry. The Foundry is very important. This is where you build Warframes, weapons, side items, cosmetics, etc. You can have any number of things building at one time. You can have any number of things ready to claim in your Foundry at one time. Reason I am saying this is because early on into the game, you will run out of Warframe and weapon slots because you build so many weapons and Warframes for Mastery rank, and because you're early on, so you haven't had an opportunity to farm a lot. So it's an important thing to note. You can build as many things as you want at once, and you can just have them all in here ready to claim. If you can't claim it, it'll tell you. If not, you just hit claim all, right? Ooh, I am missing Arcwing weapon slots for platinum, so I would have to buy that to get and pick up more of these Arcwing weapons. So it's important to note that is a thing, but you can just keep these here indefinitely. But yeah, this is a huge menu in the Foundry. It's where you go to just build everything. So there's a lot to it. That's a simple TLDR. Every weapon and Warframe in the game can be farmed and built in the Foundry here, but it can, of course, be a long process. This is where you can go over arcanes, which are a later system in the game, throw them on your Warframes or your operator. Eventually, you'll know what those are, so don't worry about it. You have components. This is your menu. It doesn't really matter too much. And yeah, the claim all button, but yeah. So that's the beginning area in the Foundry. Not too bad. After we go over all of the like beginning area stuff, we'll run a quick mission and I'll just talk about the mechanics and how Warframe works. This is your codex. This is kind of the in-game Google Wiki type thing. It's where it has all the quests. You can search them up, replay them, right? Universe, search up Warframe's weapons. This is the in-game Wikipedia codex. It doesn't tell you how to do everything, but it tells you where to get a lot of things, and it shows off a lot of things, right? So Warframe's Atlas, right? You can see info on him. It doesn't say where to farm him or anything, but yeah, it just has a lot of info, Librarian or like Codex story cards for characters. This is the training section. If you need in-game wiki tutorials, like how to do this, these are little ones here, so you can run these if you really want to. Look over there, read through them, not too bad. That's how you do that. That's how you do that. It's a third-person shooter, WASD. Run around, shoot things, use abilities and weapons, jump around using control, and smash the ground using melee. But we'll do a little mission after to show how things work. Then it gives you a little TLDR on how to run certain mission types. Doesn't have every mission type in here. I'm not seeing stuff like Kuva Flood, etc. But it has a lot of like the beginner, simple, understandable missions, PvP stuff here. So these are like little guides in game telling you how to do stuff. This one's simple. Exterminate. Enter the level, kill every enemy you encounter, leave no one standing, right? So that's the Codex, would recommend. Helps if you're new, right? Here is where you have the market. Here's where you can buy things for platinum, the premium currency, but also for credits. It has a huge menu, but this is where you'll get blueprints for stuff like weapons, warframes. This is where you can pick up some equipment, companions as well, weapons, warframes, right? Bundles, these are usually for credits, or sorry, platinum, like money, real money currency, but not always. Usually it always is. So most of these will be all for like platinum, etc., etc. I should say this, you can trade the in-game currency, which is platinum. So you can get it for free and buy things. Important to note, some things in the game, like Tenogen for PC and like other stuff in theory, can only be like purchased directly with like money through Steam, with a credit card, etc. But most things in the game, even cosmetics, can be purchased with the in-game premium currency, which is platinum, which you can trade to other people. So that should help you out a ton. And it always has like the beginner stuff right here. And yeah, to sort things better, like for Warframes, you can sort things, hide items without blueprints. This will hide things that you will only buy with, or like things that you won't build. So if I'm going to want to build a Warframe or a weapon, I'd want to maybe click this on, find the Warframe, oh, buy their blueprint for credits. It also has something, hide mastered. This hides things that you've fully completed in the game and fully leveled up already. And then you have hide owned. Hide items that you have owned. The reason things like Banshee shows up is because I don't have Banshee, I have Banshee Prime, but I've already mastered Banshee, so if I hit hide mastered, yeah, that will hide there. It's kind of annoying. Sometimes you have to click on things to see if you can build it or buy it, because that's how all the Warframes here are. You got your Relic, build requirement, right? You just got all that. That's why you hide items without blueprint, and then you see, oh, I can buy the blueprint for 50,000. So yeah, sorting through the market can be a little annoying, right? Hide items without blueprint, can buy all the blueprints, but it's not too bad. It's just like certain items, equipment, you'd have to buy with credits, but mostly everything's with platinum in the market. But some things are with credits, like you can buy Codex scanners with credits, right? So might just want to avoid things that cost platinum since it's the in-game premium currency. You do start the game with 50 platinum. I would recommend usually buying Warframe or weapon slots with that. Should get you a good chunk of the way through the early game, but that's the market in game there. This is the general front hub. This is PvP. This gives you Warframe community and update sort of news. So if you're missing stuff, it'll be there. I also make videos, but you know, meh, sometimes not. Configure Plexus. This is for Railjack. This is the spaceship fighting system, and this is your syndicates. These are essentially in-game factions that you level up to buy things from their little shop here. To rank them up, you have to give them credits and an item. You can view the offerings here, and you just kind of pick whichever ones you want to rank up. I picked New Loka. As you can see, it's allied with Perrin Sequence, so I will get Perrin Sequence rep as well. But the opposed is Steel Meridian and Cephalon Suda, so I will lose reputation here. But you can switch your syndicates at any time. So let's say I bought out the entire shop of the New Loka. I'd then switch over to something like Perrin Sequence, continue, buy out the entire shop there. And then since Perrin Sequence is opposed to Arbiters of Hexus as Steel Meridian, I'd swap over then to probably one of these other ones. But for ones that hate you, you can straight up click onto them. You can view their offerings, but you can rank them up and then become like an ally with them. So yeah, you just have to change your pledge here at any time, and then you can swap to a different faction, and then you'll start gaining reputation instead of losing it. So that is nice. Once you fully rank up one faction, the other ones will go down, so you'll start a little bit from behind once you start leveling up those other ones. That's annoying. The game has full, if you go to the settings, options, and tons of menus. Navigation's just kind of where you go to mission select. Equipment is all of the different equipment menus, as you can see. Arsenal, Foundry, Incubator, all of the different equipment menus. So it's kind of self-explanatory. Operator takes you to your operator, you'll know eventually. Market takes you to the market. Communication. Game has a clan, would recommend joining clans. Game has friends, feel free to add people if you meet them. Game has a inbox, which shows you in-game mail you get. You can gift people stuff from the market as well. Shows you quests, railjack, big spaceships, calls garrison, you'll unlock eventually. Your profile stuff, you can have some like customized little settings there, but nothing really big. And then the actual options here, which is, you know, big. And update history there, which is also big, important, it helps, etc. So that should all help there. This is the navigation menu here. Has a ton of general stuff. You can deploy extractors if you have them built to slowly farm things on planets over time. You can change your loadouts here, zoom out, change loadouts, right? So you can swap loadouts on the fly. Eventually on the game, hard mode, easy mode, things like that. This is where you can change public, so you're in matchmaking, friends only, invite only, solo, invite people. This is where you see all the buffs and things ready to claim in your Foundry, sales, friend requests, things like that. And this just is the navigation bar. Has railjack, but that's later on in the game. And this is the entire in-game menu. It has a couple of open worlds like Fortuna or Valis. This is the open world hub, and this is the open world mission area. Has a couple of those, Venus, Earth, Deimos, and Zerman kind of. The clan dojo here is where you will get into your clan, and these are only clans for you to take a look at, visually look around in their clan, if people like decorating their clans. The Void is where you guarantee yourself Void Relic drops, and, you know, it's its own cool thing. This is the menu up here, though. You have events, you have alerts, which are just like general mission type stuff, right? Kuva, Clem, yeah. You have invasions, general mission type to get some loot, right? Detonite injector, etc. You have syndicates, which are faction missions. Yeah, so these three are different. These are my current allied factions, though. And then you have stuff like void fixtures. This is where you will farm primes, weapons, and warframes to build in the Foundry, get their parts and build. And then you have sortie, which is a daily. You have Archon hunts, which are a weekly, all unlocked later in the game. So this is the generals about how Warframe works. You'll make your way through the star chart, unlocking every node. How you complete a planet is you essentially just run through the planet, and then by the end of it, you'll get to this thing called a junction. You need to complete these to get onto the next planet. So just go complete those tasks, get to the junction, bada bing, bada boom, jump on over. Farm things all over on the nodes. These little assassination missions have these little eye marks right here. And usually assassin mission bosses drop Warframe buildable parts like chassis blueprints and stuff like that. So fight assassination missions to get a specific Warframe usually. So that's the generals of Warframe. We'll quickly go into a mission just to show you how it works. This is a really low level one, so I will absolutely destroy things, no contest. I could turn it on to Steel Path, which is essentially hard mode Warframe. Get more loot, enemies are higher level, makes sense. I just want to quickly look over at the UI of playing Warframe in-game. So, as you can see, you have the map in the top left. You can hit M and bring it up, kind of like a Path of Exile overworld map, right? You can see stuff here. You can see some little items here, like that right there, and I get items, but you can see the little map and objective in the top left. Kill enemies, okay? You see the little ping there. You can ping the world with waypoints, stuff like that. There's a lot of little waypoint markers. Swap between your weapons, and you can use your abilities. Abilities cost energy. If you look in the bottom right, I have 112 energy. Using my ability, oh, it used some of my ability energy, so yeah. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And then the mission objective is kill enemies, so it'll quite obviously just ping me to enemies and I'll jump around, kill them. You can shoot them with primaries, secondary weapons. I can melee things, right? Destroy them right there. I'll one-shot everything for ages anyway, since these are level 1s. So just destroy things there. Use your abilities to kill things. I'm using Protea, so she has a turret. Pop open turret, boom. So that's the generals of Warframe. You can jump around if you crouch jump. That's like a super jump, and you go extra far and gain extra distance. And then you can, when you're in the air, hit melee aimed at the ground to slam into the ground. But that's just the generals all around Warframe. You should learn it all usually through the tutorials, and you can also do like the in-game codex stuff. But as always, if there are any questions, do let me, the comment section, know so that someone should hopefully help you out, answer. I do stream on YouTube and Twitch, so feel free to sub, like, comment, right? Check out any of my other social medias if you want. And I do have the Epic Game Store creator code Pupsker as well. Anything helps. But that is the generals of the beginning of Warframe and how to do things. I could do a beginner's guide where I take you through the first little bit of the game, like getting your Warframes, weapons, first couple of planets, collecting and doing a couple of the main quests. But hey, I have over 1,000 Warframe videos, guides, what have you, so check them all out on YouTube. That's the generals of the game. After you complete the mission, it shows you all what you got. If you completed the mission, you'll get a little bit more experience as opposed to like failing the mission. You get weapon experience, what have you. I have everything maxed out here, so no need for me to level anything up right now. But that is all the loot I got, and that is how you generally play Warframe and how the early beginning systems work. Hope this helped. Check everything out if you want to support the channel. I just make videos and chill online. But Warframe is a huge game, has a lot of stuff to do early, mid game. It's not a huge end game, but it does have a lot of bosses and certain things to do there. So yeah, hope it helped, and I will see you next time. Peace.